A rebellious thief vies with a duplicitous Mongol ruler over the hand of a beautiful princess in 1924's adventure epic classic, The Thief of Baghdad. The best way for me to express my opinion about The Thief of Baghdad would be to illustrate the average runtime of a silent film, which was about 20 to 40 minutes shorter than the average runtime of, say, today's films. But with the exception of major productions, including, say, like The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse and The Thief of Baghdad. And the reason being is because just a whole mess of effort went into this one. It kind of reminds me of the film Intolerance from D.W. Griffith, which was the most expensive movie of all time, which, set by today's standards, would be impossible to finance. And The Thief of Baghdad is not a far cry from that. It's very expensive production, one of the most expensive of that time. And the movie's runtime is about 2.5 to 2 hours and 40 minutes. At first, when I saw it, I was like, oh no, how am I going to be sustained for this length of time? But man, just the effects and the storytelling and the action. I knew it was an adventure film, but I was not expecting to be that captivated by silent action. And this just took my breath away. It's certainly a timeless classic, just timeless in the fact that it's entertainment, it's sustained thrills, and it's silent. And I'm just completely baffled by it, and I still can't quite understand just what about it holds you like that, because there are other films in that time period. Some of them have sound, but the effects are similar. Somehow this one just stands out above the rest of them. Although the effects, makeup, and costume are a big part in the production, a huge amount of responsibility for the film's success has to fall on the shoulders of its star, Douglas Fairbanks Sr. And I say senior because his son, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., was just as big, if not possibly a bigger star than his father. It's too hard to tell. But you gotta look at his performance. There's so much energy behind it. It really just, it sounds audible, his performance, if that makes any sense. And just, because the film is pretty much, it's an epic story in terms of it's told through his point of view, his story. I mean, he's the title character. He is the Thief of Baghdad, and the adventure is through him the entire time, just the different locales that he's in, and I guess the trials and tribulations that he's got to overcome, the different monsters and creatures and environments. It's really, it's amazing. I'm having a hard time remembering all of the different places that he was at, because there's so many things that happen in the film. And I just gotta mention the terrific shape that Douglas Fairbanks was in. Usually the film stars that you get back in those days, they kind of had that like tense muscle, suck-in stomach kind of look. I think Robert Mitchum would be like the best example of that, not to disrespect him. But you got to look at the shape that he's in. It's incredible. He's incredibly polished, and he just looks like your classic movie hero. I should also mention that there was a 1940 remake starring Sabu. That's his name, Sabu. He was, I guess, one of the first celebrities to have one name. And it also stars Victor McLaglen, who's really quite menacing as the Mongol ruler. It's set to color, and there's sound, so if that's your cup of tea, then I guess that's your cup of tea. But it's really hard to say which of the two stands above the other. I would go with the Douglas Fairbanks, because you just can't beat that caliber of classic movie that you get from Douglas Fairbanks. And I would honestly go ahead and say that of all the numerous adventure films, that's what he was known as. He was kind of the swashbuckling film star of that time, you know, kind of on par with Rudolph Valentino. And he was as big as it gets, and movie stars back then, they were such a big deal. They were like gods, because it was such a new medium, and they were really the first masters of their craft. And God, they were paid so much more. If you think actors today are paid an exuberant amount of money, they were paid a lot more. They practically own parts of the country. And that basically wraps up all my views on The Thief of Baghdad. I think it's a wonderful film and timeless. And if you just have a little patience as an audience member, I know you'll love the film. So let me know in the comments what you thought of The Thief of Baghdad. Have you seen the remake in 1940? And if so, which one did you like better? It's kind of a tough one to tell. What did you think of the film star, Douglas Fairbanks, who is just mind-blowing in my opinion in this movie? And that's pretty much it.